Thomas Jefferson, Founding Father, 3rd President of the United States, author of the Declaration of Independence, champion of freedom and individual liberty. But how can the person who wrote the phrase, "all men are created equal," have, during his lifetime, kept over 600 human beings in bondage servitude? Jefferson, perhaps more than any other founder, demonstrates the stark paradox of men who valued liberty for themselves while actively engaging in the enslavement of others. What made it so easy for men who claimed to be children of the Enlightenment to ignore the very values that lie at the core of their beliefs? While racism is of course the main reason, economic factors made a convenient excuse for hypocrisy. For Jefferson, putting money over freedom was necessary to keeping his stature and to the financial security of his beloved Monticello. This video will take a look at one of the key economic factors that kept Monticello churning. This is the story of Jefferson's nails. On his hilltop plantation of Monticello, Jefferson ran a number of industries alongside the customary vocation of being a gentleman planter. These included a textile factory, tinsmithing, coppering, and charcoal burning. But his most successful operation was his nail factory. At its peak, the nailery produced close to 10,000 nails per day, generating an annual income of $2,000. Jefferson launched the nailery in 1794, and it was an immediate success. He wrote, "A nailery now provides completely for the maintenance of my family." Just 2 months of enslaved labor making nails paid the entire grocery bill for the Jefferson family for a year. The nailers were boys between the ages of 10 and 16. Their small hands and nimble fingers were considered perfect for making nails. They worked long hours in a hot, cramped factory that was scarcely bigger than a modern backyard garage. They were closely supervised, at first by Jefferson himself, but then by overseers who weren't hesitant to go to the whip to get the maximum production out of the boys. Jefferson himself saw this as unfortunate, but necessary to maintain profits. Higher producing boys were given extra meat, fish, and a quart of molasses. Upon turning 16, the hardest workers would advance in the plantation hierarchy to become house servants or trained to become an artisan, such as a blacksmith. The others would go in the ground and become common field slaves or were sold to other slavers. Jefferson's nailery continued up into the War of 1812, but the war cut off supplies of iron from Philadelphia and limited his market to only local buyers. The operation ceased to be profitable, and the business continued to open and close over the next decade, with the final order for nails coming in 1823. There is no evidence that that final order was fulfilled. Jefferson would die in 1826, having freed only 2 people during his lifetime and emancipating another 5 in his will. Thank you for watching Mr. Trivia. Please check out my page for videos on George Washington and John Adams. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe, or leave a comment.